Hello, this is the LEGO Marvel Avengers Iron Man Hall of Armor set, and I need to start with a warning to you if you consider yourself a Marvel nerd. First of all, be proud of your fandom. Nothing wrong with being a Marvel nerd. However, know that I am not a Marvel nerd. I'm not ashamed of that fact, but I just had to warn you. So, yeah, proceed at your own risk. That out of the way, I gotta say, this is just such a cool set, a cool concept to make into a set, and I'm so glad that they made it for many purposes. I'm gonna take the little Outriders out of the picture for a moment and really focus on just what you can do with this set and how cool it really is. This is the Hall of Armor, I believe it was first seen in Iron Man 3, and you can make it into a little half circle like that. You can flatten it out. That's so cool. Just have the whole line of them. You can line them all up. You can bend it around backwards like this if you want to set things up a little bit differently. I mean, this will actually close up towards the back even to turn it into a basically an actual circle right there. And you can even remove, let's see, where's the point? I guess this actually needs to be pulled off, but this could be disconnected there to make things a little bit more portable. It's very easy to customize this as well. But I mean, just look at the ability to just spin this around. You can imagine just having this on a little turntable somewhere. I'm going to start taking even more of these little things away to really focus on just this right here, which is, is the key, is the focus of the whole set. Also, with this little system, it's very modular. It's very modular. This can be moved around as you like. I'm going to keep that in the picture right now because I want to show you that you can do this. See, each of these individual little stands is its own thing that fits together with any others. And these are stackable. So you could put these up here if you want. Leave a little ledge there. Start going vertical with it. You get multiple of this set and go very vertical or very horizontal with it. Basically anything that you want to do. You can make a big old square. Like, it'll have to have rounded corners, but you can see where this is starting to go. If you get more of these, you can go horizontally out here, horizontally out there. It's very adjustable, very configurable. So there, I've just moved the platform to the complete opposite side. It'll just fit there. There are a bunch of little spots that are not empty right now, but you can easily empty those out. We'll get in closer and look at some of the specifics, but just overall, just how many things you can do with this without having to add your own pieces is really cool. You can also take these tops off. I mean, this is very easy to just plop another piece down on top without even having the additional ledge there, to just stack them up like that, or I guess the proper way would be like so, and that works from both sides. Yeah, let's look at some of these things a little bit more closely now. So here we have the blender station to make a really healthy smoothie. Very important, got to watch your health, got to watch your diet. Here we get some weapons just on a rack, and of course you can change those out for other different possibilities as you want. The individual armor bays I will look at more from the other side. I'll also look at the individual armors up close in the minifig segment. This is just a jet pack that you can use with a regular figure, or you can use it with an Iron Man suit as you like. And some of these are named bays and some of them are not. You'll see that more on the other side where there are stickers. Here you get a spot for some tools with one tool and one open spot. And also at the end is a workbench where you can be doing some assembly and some tuning. And there's a little stand there for a helmet or Tony Stark's own hair. Here's how it looks from the other side. So they just have these large windows in place, and a few of them have the stickers. Now these are clear backed stickers that do require some effort to line up, and you can see that still, I'm pretty careful with my stickers, and still some air gets under there, and you have to be careful about dust for sure. But these stickers are pretty proper. However, with the brick build behind there, even if I was to turn this armor around and look at it behind glass, essentially, with just the overlay there, you don't really get to see the suit itself all that well. If I try to line it up it's a cool idea, but I feel like there needs to be more open space around there to really frame an individual suit. This is cool that they listed up the striker variant. That would be really good if they could release that, if they haven't already. I don't think they have, but the striker itself or one of those types of variants. House Party Protocol is in effect. Shows a list of some different ones. It's a little bit difficult to see. Again, some air does get under there. I tried to burnish these down, but definitely prints would have been nicer, but I'm sure that would have raised the price significantly. Let's look at one of these with no sticker there. See how that frames up one of the suits basically behind the glass. I think that maybe a little bit of modification, and that shows the helmet certainly better. I think a little bit of modification to create glass, then suit, then frame would be better if you want to look at things from this side. And then finally, these last two just have no stickers, and they've got the non-suit items. The assembly platform is pretty nicely finished. It doesn't have a lot of gaps around it, and this is able to spin around, and you have the robot arms that can be moved around. They've got ball joints down at the base, so this is able to move around a pretty fair amount, to get all around there, and you can bring this up. And certainly if you have other droid arms with different geometry to them, then you can create some different looks. But this is pretty nice just as it is. I like it, and it presents well, And you also have the workstation here with some of the it's like semi-holographic heads-up displays that are completely transparent. You see a blocked caller right there, which I believe is Agent Coulson, who's trying to call. Intruder alert. Got the Outriders that are coming. Got the keyboard. Heads up keyboard over there. Jarvis is speaking. Sorry, this doesn't show up all that well. But in real life, these actually don't show up all that well. This is not an issue with my studio here. This is just the fact that you've got stickers, clearback stickers that don't have very opaque prints on them. And so it's gonna be difficult to see those. But I do like the overall layout here, though I do wish that the displays were a little bit more visible, and you got the little seat that you can rotate around. This is the Mark 50 armor, the same one that was seen in Infinity War. It's the exact same Lego model as well. You will certainly see some production variations, as always is the case, between different batches of them and depending upon which factory actually made them. So if you are looking for insignificant tiny differences, you will definitely see them. But it's not because the design has changed. It's not because the source files have changed. It's just that, like I said, production variations occur with the registration and also the thickness of lines and how sharply they get printed up. But everything design-wise definitely looks to be identical, at least in intent. And this one right now has the Tony Stark head underneath there, and this does have the two-sided face, or two-sided head. So he also shows the reflections of the heads-up display. This one's Mark 41, aka Bones, and I think that it's pretty well produced as a Lego figure here. There's a lot of detail to be seen because so many of the components are intended to be visible. Yeah, I just think it's captured pretty well. No printing on the sides of the legs, though, no printing on the arms. It is a little bit unfortunate, but beggars can't be choosers. I mean, there's so much printing, so much detail on the torso, front and back. I think that's pretty good. And all of these alternate, sorry about the focus there, all of these alternate armors just have clear heads, plain minifig heads underneath. Here's Mark V, which in the MCU continuity was the first of the super portable suits, I believe. It's one of the suitcase ones, but not the football. I got confused on that. I had to look it up myself. The football one is one that has a lot of gold in its scheme, but this is another that does unfold itself from a very, very small size. This is done pretty well. I don't know, I feel like something is lacking here. I don't know quite what it is or why this doesn't feel up to the level of quality of the others. I really don't know what it is because there's a lot of detail shown there. Maybe I feel like there needs to be more depth or something, some more finer lines within the printed silver parts on the torso. I don't know. It's good, and it's good to get this, but I just feel like it could have been a little bit better. It's not quite there with the others. This, though, oh, I may not be a Marvel nerd, but I'm nerd enough to appreciate this. Mark 1, yes. Now, this is maybe a little bit slim and trim for a Mark 1 armor. Maybe they could have added an extra piece around the body to bulk it up, but I don't feel that it's absolutely necessary. I'm really happy that they made this. I think it's cool. There's a good amount of detail on this. They really made it look properly pieced together. And yeah, I think the helmet, the classic Iron Man helmet mold that they came up with is very good for this. And now they just need to make a Mark II. I think that would be absolutely ideal. Look at that. Very nice. Yes. This is good. Now, this could have used some more printing around the side to be sure. But again, beggars can't be choosers. I'm just happy that they made this. It's official, and it looks pretty good. Dummy here looks pretty good to me as well. It's well scaled relative to figures. They didn't make it too big, and you're still able to move it around. You can adjust the angles of things a bit, and they did give it a little bit of fire to put out. And then there's Igor. All right, we got to talk about Igor. Mark 38. Let me start with the positive stuff. First of all, this is very, very, very posable with all of the Mixel style ball joints that are placed properly, and placed in ways to allow you to really articulate things to the max. It's pretty good. Even the elbows have the Mixel style ball joints, give you a lot of range. It has knees. Well, maybe you can call these ankles, but let's just call them knees. Let's give Lego a win there. They deserve it. It's just so posable. It's crazy. Look at this. You can kick himself in the back. Even the toes can be bent to give you more options for how to actually pose it so that it won't fall over. Just a little bit of extra stability there. You got the fingers, that can be moved around in different ways. The color scheme, oops, that was my bad there. I tried to do something that it couldn't do. The color scheme is pretty consistent. This works out well enough with the color locked gray ball joint parts. Doesn't look too bad around the back. Could have used possibly some inverted tiles in place of that one 2x4 plate, but otherwise it looks pretty good. And sticking with the positivity here, as long as I can, this does open up and it will hold a figure in place. With a little bit of fiddling, you can get things closed up pretty tightly around the figure. That's about as far as it'll go. So, it is a little bit gappy around the edges, but it does hold a figure. It does it pretty decently. It just needed a little bit more coverage up here, just in front of the shoulders, I think, to really complete the look. But then we had to get to the negative stuff compared to the actual Igor. Oh, one more positive thing. The scaling here is actually pretty nice. This is pretty small, which brings us to the negatives, which are all in the looks. This looks really weird, and the actual suit is like a miniature Hulkbuster. It's very round, it's very solid, it feels very complete, looks very complete, and this face here, it's really weird also. Doesn't look, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. But a lot of people have talked about this. Everybody who's seen this who's familiar with what it's supposed to look like, or did a Google search can see that this is very awkward looking. It's a cool build, but it's not quite there. I think a lot of kids will be able to appreciate this and have fun with it, especially if they're not real sticklers for the appearance. It's a good toy. It's a really good little mech toy, but it just needs help in the aesthetics department. Lastly, the set comes with 2 of these Outriders with the 6 arms to attack the place, because you have to have some sense of conflict in a Lego set these days, and these are they're just Outriders. I think they look good, but once you've seen a few of them, you've seen them all. They do have a few different options, a few different configurations of them, and this one just has 2 of these with the basic 6 arms. Here are the leftovers, the spare parts for the set. Not a whole lot special here, mostly just the 2 black droid arms and this thing. The suggested retail price of $60 US doesn't seem too far out of the realm of expectations for a set like this, for the volume of stuff and the number of figures included. I do feel like this set has more value than just the volume of plastic suggests here. There's definitely something more to it. The great news, at least in the US, is that on the day of the release of this set, March 31st, 2019, Target stores already had it 20% off, like they did with a number of other of the Avengers sets released with the Endgame wave. So this was $48 at retail, brand new, and not with limited stock or anything. So that was super cool, especially for over 500 pieces. I mean, forget the fact that it comes with that number of cool minifigures and Igor as well. That's just a fantastic deal. So if that kind of stuff can continue, wow, what a great time to be a fan of Lego. It's been obvious that Lego has been adding a little bit more meat on the bone to start with their pricing, to help out retailers, to give retailers room to do things like this, to do sales, and more frequently sooner. So yeah, if that strategy continues to work and we're able to get things for such reasonable prices, that's just fantastic. I hope that will be close to worldwide, though. You can never expect sales to show up absolutely everywhere, but the more places that you do see those retail discounts on new sets, the better. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with this set on the whole. So I hope that you enjoyed this review, and if you want to see how this all went together, check out the build video, which I will link to on the screen momentarily. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.